A lot of people with sleep deprivation, it affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us at unitedway.org.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Well, happy Thursday, wrapping up yet another day as we get into the latter part of our work week and our school week, and students, employees, guys, we're almost there. Friday is in our sights. It's going to be a fantastic end to the week. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and one of the things we're tracking here in the Room to Room Weather Center are those limited rain chances heading into our Thursday evening. I mean, 10% is doing what 10% does, and that's honestly make a lot of folks upset because that 10% isn't over the top of them. We'll be tracking where those showers are moving through, but more than likely you're staying on the drier side and will continue to do so into whatever Thursday evening plans you have. Friday night may need that rain gear for some. Still a lot of ifs in question, but those rain chances at least starting to verify more for our Friday evening games, and that does include our game of the week forecast, tracking some minimal chances as well. And that latest look at your weekend forecast, I told you it's going to be a good weekend, and trust me when I tell you that, it means you can expect it. Looking at that first 12, 10% chances there by 6, continuing into that 9 o'clock hour. And into those overnight periods, you might notice a 10% here, 10% there. Overall, that means that we're staying majority dry with those pop-up showers, still continuing that cyclical nature even beyond sunset. Temperature-wise, 90 degrees by 6. So when we talk about warmer conditions, we were even a few degrees up from where we were yesterday. So that heat continues to be a big part in our forecast, but does get better from here, and that weekend does have a say in that. 78 by 9, 72 there closer to midnight, dropping off into the upper 60s for our Friday morning. Like I said, Friday is here. We are so excited for it, and if skies continue to look like this, I mean, we're shaping up for a good Friday as well. Aberdeen, 93 degrees, feels like 95, so that little bit of moisture in the air, bumping those temperatures up just a bit in regards to how it feels outside. Batesville, 93, feeling like 91. A lot of that is due to this cloud cover kind of blocking that sunshine just a bit there towards Panola County. This is where we're seeing some elevated chances of some showers and storms, not necessarily in Panola County, but in surrounding areas. And the reason why is you're getting these cumulus clouds that have some of that vertical lift to it. So that's going to allow some of those showers to pop up, and emphasis on pop up because they're not going to last too long. Cleveland, we mentioned rain chances, and Cleveland has been a hotspot for them here recently. You can see right along Highway 61, several showers and thunderstorms popping up in and around the region, and we're seeing that right here with some of those darker clouds, some of those rain shafts that are just on the base of the clouds. So yeah, shaping up to be a toasty one over there in the Delta with a few showers popping up in and around the region. Now, I do have it out of our Monroe County radar site, but I'm going to bump it over to the Memphis radar site because that'll give us a better view on the movement of these storms. This is about 5:03, and as you can see, Highway 61, I feel like I've been mentioning that area the past few days because they're doing things right over there. They're doing the right things they need to do to get some rainfall, because once again, we are tracking some isolated showers moving through the region. That 1 hour loop still shows those cyclical showers developing more and more, one of those boundaries that this is initiating on, and that daytime heating allowing those to take place. But I mean, you might notice, let's go to one of those more decent showers. This one over there just north of Shelby around the Duncan area and Alligator, Mississippi. That's a new city name. Did not know there was an alligator, but I want to move to Alligator now. That is such a cool name. Where are you from? I'm from Alligator. But looking at that shower moving across Highway 1 in Dixie and Hill House closer to Alligator. Golly, I love that name. You can see that. I mean, it's slightly moving, but we're not talking about a fast storm whatsoever. If we're talking about speed, it's basically moved. Let's get back to that latest scan. I mean, from there to there, 5 miles over the last hour. 5 miles an hour on those storms, basically telling you that this is not a fast mover. So we expect that to reach the alligator community. Alligator community? Is it a town? I need to study up on my alligator. Moving about 5 miles an hour. You know what? I'm going to encompass alligator in that because you guys are going to be getting some of those showers, especially with those pinks and purples popping up. Alligator 517. Take a picture of that. That is one to remember. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this community, but that just caught me so off guard. Expanding things out once again, we can definitely see that more is initiating just north of there towards Clarksdale, inching closer. And if we take that track around that same speed, 5 miles an hour or so, I mean, I'll move it about 8 so we can get it all the way over there. Beverly 520, Riverton 550, Hobson closer to about 504. Down south, down along Highway 3 closer to the Sunflower community. That is, of course, moving at about 5 miles an hour as well. Let me actually verify that before I put a track on that because I want to make sure we have that track exactly right. So let it cycle through. Yeah, so developing right over the top. I would say that this is not moving at all, and if it is, it's moving more northwest. Start to see that develop a little bit over that boundary, so moving closer to Highway 3 and some of that back there towards 278. So paying attention to multiple showers, but basically this is the hot spot. If we go back to our home view, we can definitely tell that elsewhere, except for that one shower there around Calhoun County and Pontotoc County, it's pretty much a dry forecast with plenty of blue skies. Some of those rainfall totals over the past 12 hours, you can definitely see that there have been some decent downpours, 3/4 of an inch around Oxford, on the east and west side of Oxford. There towards Marshall County, 3/4 of an inch. I pinpointed the wrong one. There's a 1/2 inch there on the west side of Marshall County. Down here towards Cleveland and Sunflower, 5/100ths of an inch. 3/10 of an inch there, north of Shelby, a decent downpour as well. But this is the extent of what we're getting. If I clear off those numbers, you can see that there's way more folks that have not seen rainfall rather than folks that have. And that's continuing to be the story into our Friday. Tracking this out, this is over the past 12 hours, but watch as I change this over to the past 3. Nothing really changes. So a lot of these rain chances have primarily been there towards the mid to late afternoon, exactly what we were saying yesterday, and we expect that to verify once again heading into our Friday. And why does all of this matter? Well, the latest drought monitor just came out today, and we have seen conditions worsen once again. Has been doing so along like a 5-week stretch as of this point. Still some areas that are not in that drought just yet, but that level 1 drought creeping closer there towards eastern Natala County and western Winston County. But this level 3 drought is now all the way south into Yalobusha County. So we are paying a lot of attention to that as those drought conditions continue to worsen, but hopefully there is some meaningful rainfall that could potentially be moving in midweek next week that would put a dent on this drought monitor. So we are fingers crossed on that forecast. Still, I mean, we're 5-6 days out, so that could change, but we're hopeful at the very least. So here you're getting that frontal system. Still, this system is diminishing. It's more of that negatively tilted phase, so that's starting to lessen our chances of rainfall. So this is not really pushing into North Mississippi. We're just catching this boundary along the leading edge that could produce a few of these pop-up showers tonight and into your Friday. No severe weather is expected, but a few decent downpours as a result. But high pressure is a big driver in our forecast. Let's go ahead and get into Futurecast right here, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So there we go. Okay. Took a little bit of time. Let's get right here into the southeast of the United States, right here where North Mississippi and Alabama are. Watch how over time this front tries to creep closer and closer, but just basically stalls out, never fully reaches the area. So keeping those rain chances towards Arkansas and Missouri, whereas here in North Mississippi, right along a boundary. But we always talk about the orientation of high pressure. It matters where you're at and where this high pressure is. Saying that it's just planted in the southeast, that's not really telling a story, but the story is there. And what exactly that story is where the moisture is coming from. So since we have the high pressure towards our east-northeast, you start to get this clockwise motion that starts to develop that encourages some of this Gulf moisture to move a little bit more north into North Mississippi, and that's why we're getting some of those pop-up showers. So overnight, we can see more of that developing because that moisture is still cycling in due to that upper wind starting to circulate in some of that Gulf moisture. So of course, those chances lingering overnight and continue into our Friday morning. So chances not overly high, but still with that moisture and with those hot temperatures that we have, allowing for some of those to develop. So 8 a.m., we're pretty much mostly dry, but as we get into that extended forecast, more rain chances return due to the orientation of that high pressure system and some of that cold front, that leading boundary starting to initiate some more of those showers. So tomorrow afternoon and evening, the thing we're paying attention to, of course, because we have our Friday football forecast. You can see dry to start the day, but by noon, 10% in the forecast, upping to 20% right around 6 p.m. And you know it's after 6. It's 7. And that's where our kickoff is for our Friday night football forecast. And we are tracking a few showers in the area. So we will be tracking those out in more detail, what to expect for your football forecast for high school and college coming up here in just a couple minutes. And we have a game tonight. Northeast taking on Holmes Community College. We'll have a look at their forecast as well as Mississippi Live Weather at 5 continues right after this. Oh, wait, I didn't advance the graphic. Stick with me one moment. We'll be tracking that here in the Room to Room Weather Center coming up in the next 60 with more of those rain chances coming up here in 60 seconds.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, welcome back into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I see a few folks over there in the chat asking about specific areas for rainfall. Starkville, Mississippi, a big one being asked for right now. We'll be getting to that here in just a moment, but what I want to start with is what we're experiencing right now, and that is a lot of beautiful conditions with plenty of blue skies. This one over there in the Tupelo area, 91 degrees, and a big reason why is those blue skies letting that sun shine through, warming up our atmosphere, making for another toasty day as we get into our Thursday afternoon plans. Oxford, same thing with some of those cumulus clouds popping up. More development primarily southeast of where Oxford is, but 91 degrees right now with those blue skies. That's for a big part of Lafayette County. And honestly, when we're talking about there being some showers in the southeast corner, we're talking about a mile, 2 miles wide. 91 degrees in Kosciuszko. That's where close to Holmes County, where our Northeast Tigers are taking on the Holmes Community College Bulldogs. So we'll get into that forecast here in a moment. But where we're seeing right now, they're towards Holmes County and Chula. I mean, no rainfall. We're primarily seeing those rain chances stick right along Highway 61. So hopefully that can continue to remain the case as the Tigers and Bulldogs kick off here in about the next hour or so. Now down around Noxubee County, a little bit of a boundary right there, allowing some showers to form. And as we mentioned, that southeast corner of Lafayette County earlier on about 4:30 dealing with some isolated showers, but those have since expired, gone away, however you want to word it. It's basically the cyclical pattern that takes away a lot of our rain chances. So Starkville, folks asking for tonight, staying on the drier side. Holmes County, staying on the drier side for the most part. As you can see, 20% pregame, primarily west in the Mississippi Delta, but getting close enough to Holmes County for that game time, so make sure to have that rain gear ready. Those rain chances for a large part of North Mississippi, not just in Holmes County, dissipating out by the second half and for that drive home. So it's going to be a great forecast. Let's hope it's a great time on the football field as well. So 5:30 on your Thursday, Futurecast already a little bit over ambitious on those rain chances. As you can see, popping up way more of these showers. And this is what we talked about yesterday, how this wasn't really going to verify. We were going to see a few showers here and there. I mean, doing the Delta some justice right along Highway 61, but everywhere else, a little bit of a step back from where Futurecast has it right now. So we told you guys 10% coverage. That was best case scenario, and seeing that verify right now, like we said, 10% is doing what 10% does. And it gets a lot of people's hopes up. And so I'm trying to let you guys know, keep your hopes low and just be happy if one of those showers pop up where you're at. 7 p.m. on your Thursday, those chances try to stick around with some more development over there on the northeast side of our area. We will definitely take that, but not really expecting it. Just going to continue that sporadic development into any Thursday evening plan. So it's best to just have an umbrella in the back seat in case those showers pop up where you're at and you're able to get out of the car and pop it out. 10 p.m. on your Thursday. conditions get much drier. So for folks heading home from Holmes County over there towards Boonville, should be dry for the most part. By 1, 2 o'clock, we do see some showers trying to move into the area with a few possible rumbles of thunder as well, but no severe weather expected. And for the large majority of us here in North Mississippi, continuing to stay on the drier side, as you can see. But into 5 a.m., those showers trying to linger, and that might make our temperatures slightly warmer than what we're forecasted for our morning commute. Right now, mid to upper 60s expected, so already a mild start with those showers lingering in the area. Maybe bump that a degree or two up. But we're not really worried about temperatures tomorrow. We're really worried about the rain chances because we do have our Friday night kickoff. Let's go ahead and get into it. Our final day of the work week, final day of school week. So students, employees, looking like we're going to be shaping up to a good forecast. Some of those rain chances really highlighting Monroe County. So keeping eyes on that area for a few lingering rain showers for your morning commute, but still not overly high on those rain chances. And for a lot of us on Highway 45, staying on the drier side if you need to commute to work on that road. Now 10:30, showers still trying to linger there in Monroe County. Like I said, a hot spot in your forecast tomorrow. But watch how these showers in the Mississippi Delta just gradually build more into eastern Mississippi. So that'll be right here along there we go. Okay, I thought I was skipping for a second. By 1, 2, and 3 o'clock, those showers already popping up once again on the eastern side of the area, still very sporadic in development. So when we're talking about rain chances, still about 20% coverage, not overly high, but there is still rain in the forecast that folks will need to worry about. Now by 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, I have my doubts on how this will verify. I do think that we will be dealing with isolated rain showers, but this extensive in coverage, especially with how dry things have been, I'm just not overly sold on it. But Friday afternoon and evening, we are tracking a few showers through the region. A lot of those primarily going to be northeast Mississippi, right around the Boonville, Corinth, and Iuka area. So folks over there need to pack that rain gear because look by 6 p.m. on your Friday, where those showers are primarily sitting at, with a few of those isolated showers developing down there towards Greenwood, Eupora, and Houston. But this area, definitely one to watch. Our models highlighting that specifically. Forecasted rainfall, as you can see, 1/100 of an inch spreading across a good portion of North Mississippi. So that's a good sign. Means that we have some decent chances of getting some meaningful moisture. Temperature wise though, I said we're not worried about it. I meant compared to the rain chances with our football games, we can handle the 90s. We just need to make sure to stay safe. We need to make sure to stay hydrated and of course find ways to stay cool. Mid 90s once again expected in our forecast tomorrow, but that drier air, and this is what isn't selling me on those rain chances being that widespread, is because of how dry our atmosphere still is. So we will see that isolated development, but are we getting as scattered as what it's forecasted for? I need to see the 10 o'clock model run to make sure to verify on that, but it has to convince me because I'm not overly sold. But what we have seen is rain chances go up into our Friday evening. Take a look right here, 20% pregame, 20% by halftime. It was 10% yesterday and 10% towards that final snap, whereas things were getting much drier in yesterday's model run. So forecasting a little bit more, I'm not going to say a soggy forecast, but at least more of a wet forecast for some areas compared to what it once was. 88 pregame, 78 halftime, and 74 towards that final snap. Going to be a fantastic forecast, like I mentioned, temperature-wise, but just have to dodge a few showers throughout our Friday evening. There's a look at those rain chances. This is a different model run, one of our other short-range model runs, the strike model, which as we know is ambitious, but at least lining up those rain chances in the same general area. And that's why we're saying northeast Mississippi definitely needs to be watching for those into our game times for our forecast. But into Saturday morning, some more of those rain chances try to move into the forecast. And I said this was an ambitious model. And I will continue to say that because moving through those rain chances in early morning and even into our Saturday afternoon, still not overly sold. I think we'll see a few pop-up showers by the afternoon, but not anything too extensive. I think our best threat for rainfall will be Friday afternoon and evening. As you can see, overnight, those drier conditions push in once again, and that's what I expect it to be, is dry conditions into those overnight hours, but maybe a few pop-up showers for your Saturday by the afternoon. High temperatures, mid-90s once again, 94 Water Valley, 94 Houston, 91 around the Boonville area, 95 towards Macon. Heat indices still showcasing that drier air, so that remains to be seen is how much that dry air will impact our forecast for our Friday and limit how much moisture we'll see. SEC football forecast, Ole Miss taking on Tulane in Oxford. This is a great sign, and this is probably a result of how much moisture is being shown for Friday and maybe Saturday, is dropping temperatures just a bit. Tracking this yesterday, it was in the mid-90s. The fact that we're pulling that back and showing 91 first play, 92 by halftime, and the mid-80s by that final snap is a good sign for both temperature-wise. We don't want it to be overly hot, but also for those rain chances, because rain, of course, brings that rain-cooled air and cools things off just a bit. So that's helping me verify those rain chances a bit more. And same thing down around Starkville, Northern Illinois taking on Mississippi State. And for folks in the chat asking about Starkville, here you go. Your Saturday forecast against Northern Illinois. I believe they're the Huskies. 92 first play, 89 by halftime, and 81 towards that final snap. Those limited showers not going to be impacting the Bulldogs down there in Starkville, so we are going to be sitting pretty and hopefully sitting pretty on the football field as well. We should handle business against Northern Illinois, but they're an upset team. They did it to Notre Dame last year. I'm not putting it past them to do anything this year, so don't overlook them, Bulldogs. We need to take it one game at a time. Friday, 20% coverage. Like I mentioned, our best threat for rainfall over the next couple of days. Saturday, limited chances, but it's more limited to none. And then Sunday, those rain chances do return. Monday dries up just a bit. But watch how we move into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. This is that meaningful moisture that we're talking about that has the potential to move into our forecast and give us some much needed showers right before that next drought monitor comes out. We're fingers crossed on this, and this has flip-flopped over the past few days, but looking a little bit more consistent as we head into that extended forecast. And if one of the models that's really forecasting rainfall ends up prevailing, which we're watching, then we're looking at an even soggier forecast than 30%. So again, we're rooting for the Euro. If you need to root for something, root for the Euro this weekend. GFS not as high on rain chances, so if that prevails, we're looking at a much drier pattern, but 30% a good middle ground right now to walk through at least some of those rain chances that we expect to move in, but we're hoping that we can increase that in that extended forecast. Now, coming up at 6, I know folks in the chat are just excited about getting some rainfall, but heading into the 6, I hope you guys join us because we do have more information to talk about. Gabrielle still in the Atlantic as a tropical storm, inching closer and closer. Can we expect those impacts here in North Mississippi? Well, we'll have the latest on that, as well as your weekend outlook in more detail. We'll have all those answers for whatever you have planned this weekend. Will it be good to go? Well, we'll have that available for you. One of the ways to track that forecast yourself is with the Mississippi Live Weather app. Get it free on your app store today, iOS and Android, right here on my bottom left and right. So download that, gives you the hourly forecast, gives you the daily forecast, gives you your weekend forecast, gives you anything you want forecast. So it's a great app to have and something that keeps you always prepared for any of your evening activities. Our next broadcast, as I mentioned, happening at 6 p.m., but I also told you a reason to tune in at 10 because we are watching for the latest model runs to see if those Friday rain chances continue to verify. We're optimistic. We expect them to at least verify somewhat, but will we see as scattered of showers as we're expecting, as models are expecting? Well, that will be seen at 10 p.m. tonight. So tune in for the very latest on that. We'll have those rain chances for this weekend coming up live at 10. And again, don't miss our 6 as we track the latest on Gabrielle.
You may see a teen struggling to find his way. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we see a teen gaining the confidence and skills to land his first job. Kids today need people to see their potential and help them achieve it. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we do whatever it takes to help kids succeed. Because when we see young people, we see limitless possibilities. Do you? Join us, Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.